Looks like we have some private messages from a hate group where the subject is a woman who has been granted multiple lifetime ROs, and many of those issued are right in that group. If you're catching up on this multi-year saga, here is how it started. As co-admin of a Facebook group critical of Katie Joy Paulson, Charlotte enforced basic ethics, calling out creators like Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime for leaking Patreon content and Veda Jade for art plagiarism. This crowd wasn't used to being challenged. By mid-July 2023, that friction exploded into relentless harassment. After a shady, manufactured group takeover pushed her out, they took over the admin roles and immediately launched a campaign to punish and bankrupt her. Ignoring C&Ds and TROs, what started as summer 2023 cease and desists quickly escalated when they refused to stop, forcing Charlotte to file initial TROs in Kansas. As they tagged in other creators to carry out the smear campaign, infractions piled up, pushing the count to at least 5 lifetime restraining orders and 1 2-year RO. They coordinated with unconstrained peers to spread meritless claims, falsely accusing her of being a Katie Joy employee, committing loan fraud, hacking, swatting, calling her local police under false pretenses, and even dragging estranged family onto panels. When they tried filing retaliatory vindictive restraining orders, those got dismissed. It has been one traumatic event after another. Fortunately, Charlotte backed up everything, step for step. The consequences followed: lifetime restraining orders, platform sanctions, and U.S. channel bans for Meg, Sean, and Aaron, with DAs now stepping in.
And eventually the good always comes out on top, and that's what's going to happen.
We agree with Megan for once. Good has come out on top. So how do we have their private DMs? Meg leaked a screen recording from an anti-Charla hate group where they coordinated their abuse. In a desperate bid to save her own skin, Meg snitched on her inner circle. Though her deal broke down and she's in deep trouble anyway, the receipts are out. They wanted courtroom drama. They got real accountability. Before we dive in, to keep things moving, we are using synthesized audio to bring these DMs to life like an audiobook. Not as impersonations, but to keep facts clear using jump cuts and context explainers. To keep it visually engaging, we're pairing those audio tracks with screenshots of the actual chat logs alongside clips and photos of the speakers. Welcome back to Untangling Webs. Let's look at the record.
Dude, and then she says, on this next page I see, she says, that you were talking to her stepdaughter, and that you asked, I'm guessing Cammie, to send you anything that you could use against her in a TRO in North Carolina. And then Charlotte says, I was served on November 3rd. It was dismissed on November 9th. But, like, even you didn't entertain filing anything against anyone until after you were served. And you never even did file anything on her. You filed on Katie Joy. So this whole thing just, I can't believe I didn't even realize this. This whole thing is just a fucking bullshit story.
Okay, let's give this some context. In late October 2023, around Halloween, Brittany Nicole Hansen, who goes by Veda Jade on YouTube, filed a frivolous TRO against Katie Joy, naming Charla as a co-defendant without evidence. Steve McRae, Aaron Costello, and Brittany Nicole Veda Jade Hansen had each been issued a TRO several weeks earlier in a Kansas court. Veda baselessly blamed Charla for online harassment, including spoofed threatening emails sent to various creators, a wave of hostile spoofed messages targeting multiple channels, creating an atmosphere of manufactured panic designed to cast suspicion on and scapegoat Charla. Of course, when confronted about it, Veda tried to use her own convoluted logic as a shield.
If I were going to spoof emails, would I be fucking stupid enough to create them in my own name and threatening to kill kids?
It's not our responsibility to explain why stupid things are done by stupid people.
And threatening to kill kids. No. If I was going to spoof emails, they wouldn't be in my name. They would be against everybody I can't stand.
Speaking of stupid, this is from a stream where Veda is driving to Kansas. While we cannot conclusively state whether Veda is stupid enough to create the threatening emails in her name, she is most certainly stupid enough to engage in harassment and smearing the protected person while driving to Kansas court to defend herself against harassment claims.
Would I be fucking stupid enough?
Instead of taking accountability, she doubled down on the circus. She was attempting to weaponize the legal system for content farming and retaliation. Because both defendants retained the same counsel in the small North Carolina town where Veda filed, their joint representation was cynically used to assert collusion. Charla retained the firm first, a timeline confirmed by Catherine Paulson. Veda only created this overlap by lumping Charla and Katie Joy into a joint retaliatory filing, then hypocritically weaponized it to fuel her own conspiracy theories. Lacking jurisdiction and evidence, the lawsuit was dismissed just 9 days later. When these creators are faced with the actual legal consequences of their actions, they don't look inward. Instead, they pivot straight into a full-blown spy thriller. Take Veda, for instance, who has convinced herself and her chat that none of this is happening organically. No, according to her, there's a grand financial conspiracy at play. Because they treat online harassment like a coordinated business, they assume everyone else does too. But Veda takes it a step further, trying to connect invisible dots to justify why she slapped a TRO on Katie Joy Paulson Carlson in the first place.
And I'll tell you why people wanted to know really the big reason behind me putting the TRO on Katie, because I'll tell you what they're doing right now. What they're doing is what happened is this woman is absolutely being paid to do all this. And what she's doing is she's got an order against her to where she cannot incite third party harassment. But instead, 2 days after court, she goes around to Burnt Toast, convinces her that she's being harassed and gets her to post stuff. Then she went to Nonsense, and Nonsense jumped all over that shit. She got wet at the moment of getting revenge at me.
Listen to the gymnastics there. Instead of accepting that multiple independent creators and individuals are simply reacting to their relentless harassment campaigns, Veda has to invent a script where Sharla is a paid operative moving pieces on a chessboard, recruiting creators like Burnt Toast and Nonsense. It's a classic conspiracy mindset, completely fabricate a narrative of financial backing and shadow puppetry to distract from the simple, uncomfortable truth that people are just standing up to toxic behavior. And the best part? They have zero receipts for any of it. Just vibes, paranoia, and a lot of wishful thinking. Let's look back at November 5th, 2023, when Nikki, the only creator, panelist without an RO, accepts the restrained harasser's request to stream and amplify Veda's baseless smears. All this done in the presence of Aaron, the entitled gaslighter. Before we go to that members-only stream, let's take a brief look at this clip from October 2024 of Aaron covering Chesh, covering the situation. Even 2 years ago, while Aaron was covering a stream where Cheshire Vic called out Aaron's harasser pals for blaming Sharla for spoofed emails, Aaron either played dumb or simply couldn't remember, cynically deflecting with, "Where did we say these were from Sharla?"
Claiming you were getting harassing emails from Sharla, and she said, "Hey, I got this email. I don't. This is
when did
clearly
we
a
say
fake
that?
email." Nowhere in her.
Don't put words in our mouths, Chesh. When did we say that these were from Charlotte? We never said that.
Now let's go straight to that members-only stream.
The only reason I wanted you to do it was because I can't say Charla's name.
I'll do it. Nah, I'm gonna leave it public. Why not? Everyone deserves to see what's going on, and what you deserve to have the truth out, and you deserve a lot of apologies, which I don't think you're gonna get, but
This you, sweetie?
I'll do it.
The plan to blame a court-protected person for the fake emails is devised in restrained Aaron's presence. Right after this, members-only live where the script and narrative choices were mapped out behind closed doors, Nikki jumped straight onto her own channel to broadcast those exact talking points, weaponizing the fake email claims against Sharla, just as they had workshopped.
This would be Carla.
When did we say that these were from Charlotte? We never said that.
This would be Carla.
We never said that.
Of course it is. Carla.
It's some fucked up shit.
It's Carla.
We never said that.
What are you trying to do, Carla?
We never said that.
Like, you're fucked. You're sick. Go get some help. It's all really weird, but they're extremely nervous about something. Yeah, you know what it is? It's Carla.
We never said that.
It's Carla. Please block her. She is psycho. She does this. This is what she does.
It's some fucked up shit.
She doesn't stop. She does not stop. So all of you obviously know I'm talking about. Carla. Obviously.
We never said that.
Carla. That's her name. Carla.
We never said that.
That's what I'm calling it.
When did we say that these were from Charlotte? We never said that.
Days later, as Veda's lawsuit was dismissed on November 9th, Nikki broadcasted a reading of that same frivolous legal filing, which was shared by numerous anti-Katie Joy YouTubers. While Nikki has since deleted these videos, perhaps developing a conscience, their removal confirms the calculated, coordinated nature of their campaign against Sharla, proving this was never just commentary. Sharla was granted protection from harassers on this panel months earlier, but yet, here they are. But it's okay, because this convo was supposed to be private, so privately conspiring to cause public damage against a protected person is okay by Miss Translator. It's telling that Aaron forgets this nightmare she helped orchestrate. What's an afterthought to the abuser was weeks of prolonged, agonizing nightmare for the abused.
And then she says that, it's on the other page. So Zafar asks her and so you sent the cease and desist, and it is your testimony that Brittany and Aaron did not cease their discussions. I received my cease and desist on August 23rd.
As a brief aside, of particular note is this date. While these creators paint Sharla as a court abuser for defending her safety, August 23rd exposes their true colors. This was the day they weaponized Sharla's own family, actively digging up 5-year-old Facebook posts to recruit her estranged stepdaughters onto their panel to publicly trash her. It wasn't lawfare, it was a final straw. Sharla's patient restraint only ended when they cold-bloodedly targeted her private family life, forcing her to seek the legal protection they now ironically cry about.
I hope every one of you feels like a complete and utter moron right now.
Well, this totally not a moron, Steve McRae, has since been issued a lifetime restraining order, with likely potential contempt filings forthcoming.
promise I would not hold your hand. Oh! I cannot be your man. Never got his ass whooped until we open up that can. Damn, alley hoop me bands, I'm a slam. Jam freak bitch, I like my Mac touching yams. Put the option around me, I'ma turn it off. Heard what happened to your mans, not sorry for your loss. Should've prayed before them shots came and nailed to the car. I'll let your boy get a pass, bitch, you lucky you saw. For real. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. 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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Alright. What they talking about? They talking about nothing.
All the people that were supporting Charla, I hope every one of you feels like a complete and utter moron right now.
Imagine strutting into court demanding a 5-year order against your target, only to fold, dismiss your own vindictive retaliatory case, and catch a lifetime restraining order instead. Absolute masterclass in self-own.
I received my cease and desist on August 23rd.
Oh.
August 23rd.
Oh, is that so?
August 23rd. August 23rd. So that was a month and a half, I'd say, before this mod call. So what the fuck is she talking about?
For context, the mod call she's trying to brush off wasn't some innocent chat. It was submitted as a formal legal exhibit in the case. It was a coordinated gathering of Steve, Veda, Meg, and several other harassers, including Charla's estranged stepdaughter, Cami. Even though Steve wasn't officially restrained yet, they all had C&Ds and knew the legal paperwork was in motion. This was a preemptive attempt to coordinate a defense and manufacture a retaliatory TRO as leverage to force Charla into backing down. In fact, Veda was so rattled by what that exhibit exposed that she actually posted a now-deleted video directly intimidating Charla over it.
To show up with a mod call to claim that me and Aaron were on it and that we were conspiring with your family to target, harass, and threaten you. I would take that off the exhibit list if I were you.
This public intimidation of a protected person was done just 5 days before court. Remember when she asked if she'd really be stupid enough to do it?
Would I be fucking stupid enough?
Exhibit A, Your Honor. Okay, so here's the exhibit Veda didn't want the court to see.
So, the big one is this one. This is her thing where she says, I will SWAT you from RedTube, right? Now, the big thing on this one is, now I'll be straight up. Can I prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she sent that? No. There's one of either two major possibilities. Obviously one being she didn't send it, but
Say that again.
One being she didn't send it, but if she didn't send this though, she knows who did. I'm convinced of that.
If you want a masterclass in how these retaliatory filings were used purely as leverage, look no further than an email Steve McRae sent directly to Charla's California attorney, Emma, in October 2023. Operating pro se, Steve tried to engineer a backroom deal, offering to drop down to a 2-year restraining order, only if Charla completely caved, dropped her Kansas orders against his moderators, and vacated his own TRO.
These are 100% identical to the ones she filed previously in September and August, proving it is her filing these harassing privacy complaints that I have to respond to YouTube on the exact same videos.
He even casually dropped references to obtaining audio from an anonymous 5:38 a.m. welfare check call to his home, which he falsely tried to frame as a swatting incident, attempting to weaponize it as leverage.
I am still trying to obtain the audio recording of the swatting attempt of my home on September 26th at 5:38 a.m. by a anonymous caller calling in a false domestic violence call, which if I receive in time I will be also using at the hearing, which I also will provide you a copy in a reasonable time prior to hearing, which I have good reason to believe was either your client or someone by her behest. In addition, because of these recent violations of the TRO additional orders and the nature of the harassment, I will be asking for a full 5-year restraining order at the hearing, as well as an injunction against your client from filing any more harassing privacy concerns or DMCAs against me or my channel. However, if your client would like to accept a 2-year RO instead, as well as the conditions to drop her 2 pending PFA TROs against 2 of my moderators and content creators she has filed in Kansas, as well as vacate her PFA TRO on me from Kansas, no NDA, and that she unconditionally stays away from me, I will consider that a fair and reasonable offer. Please let me know if this offer is acceptable to your client at your convenience.
It wasn't about safety or justice. It was a transactional shakedown to protect their network, and the receipts prove it.
He needs to stop the behavior and just be done with it. Please just stop. That's it. Stop.
That's all Steve McRae and his morally bankrupt band of ghouls ever had to do. Stop the behavior, be done with it, and just stop.
Please just stop. That's it. Stop.
Look at my hippo titties.
Nah, I did file on her. No one knows all that part. Remember, I set her and Katie up so that I could catch them working together.
which Miles confirmed for me later on in 2024. Remember, I received threats from Sharla via text. I told her not to text me again, or I would file a TRO on her. I filed one on her at the same time she filed one on me. Then I lost to jurisdiction. One of the favorite excuses from these toxic creators and their supporters is that Veda's frivolous lawsuit was supposedly just dismissed on jurisdiction. Let's look at the actual geography. Veda is in North Carolina, Katie is in Minnesota, and Sharla is in Kansas. Veda filed her TRO against Katie and dragged Sharla in as a co-defendant. They act like jurisdiction is just a matter of what state you happen to file in, completely ignoring how long-arm statutes and personal jurisdiction actually work. It isn't just about drawing lines on a map. It's about whether an out-of-state defendant engaged in specific, purposeful conduct directed at that state. These creators cover legal cases all the time, but they don't think past surface-level excuses. Look at reality. When actress Shirley Jones sued out-of-state tabloid journalists, she filed in her home state of California. The defendants tried to get it tossed on jurisdiction, but the Supreme Court upheld it under the Calder effects test. Why? Because her petition established that their intentional actions were specifically targeted at a resident in California. In the exact same way, Sharla resides in Kansas, while her harassers are scattered across various states. Yet Sharla successfully established jurisdiction in Kansas because she demonstrated clear, targeted contacts backed by actual verifiable evidence. In Veda's case, it wasn't just a matter of geography or a mysterious legal glitch. Veda failed under North Carolina's long-arm statute because she couldn't show Sharla had any purposeful contacts with North Carolina to begin with. To make matters worse, her own petition disclosed facts that completely defeated her argument. Veda actually claimed in her filing that Sharla was under a protective order to stop harassing her. In reality, no such order existed against Sharla. In fact, Sharla was already the protected party under an active restraining order against Veda in Kansas. On top of that, Veda failed under North Carolina's Rule 12b-6 for failing to state a claim.
Under 12b-6, she has wholeheartedly failed to state any claim upon which this type of relief could be granted to her. You take out the stuff that's on information and belief, and you take out legal conclusions, there's nothing left other than a lot of posturing and puffery. There aren't any allegations.
Meaning her complaint completely failed to plead sufficient facts to state a legally sound claim. She couldn't substantiate her claims because her suit was pure speculation from the start. They love hiding behind state lines to excuse her failure, but jurisdiction and legal rules aren't a free pass when your claims are entirely meritless. In Veda's own words, she still needed evidence. It's like learning with Suj said, in a court of law these toxic creators are like sharks on a beach. What thrives in a controlled, unmoderated online echo chamber completely suffocates in reality. When they actually have to step into an arena governed by rules of evidence and long-arm statutes, their performative routine falls flat. What plays to a gullible online mob is utterly useless when you have to back up your claims with actual facts. After Veda's lawsuit was dismissed for failure to state a claim and lack of jurisdiction, this panel of Veda, Meg, Rabbit, and Nikki steered hate back to Sharla. It's shameful they titled their stream of lies, Truth Regarding TRO, using both the video and the description to deflect from Veda's legal failure by pretending it was only about jurisdiction. They want to paint themselves as the victims of censorship, while they actively try to purge anyone who disagrees with them. But the irony is completely lost on them. In fact, Steve once went on a panel with Veda to explain repressive tolerance, referencing Herbert Marcuse's famous 1965 essay From a Critique of Pure Tolerance, while completely describing his own playbook and trying to accuse others of it.
And repressive tolerance is basically the idea of shutting down the voices, shutting down the critics. If you cannot out-argue somebody, the way to get rid of them is to make their voice go away. This is where cancel culture comes from. And so this is exactly what they're doing.
Project much? They were using fancy leftist academic jargon to cry censorship just because their friend Molly Golightly got suspended from YouTube for violating TOS over harassment. Using his own clip against him exposes how hollow that is. He's taking a philosophical concept about systemic suppression and using it to whine about basic platform rules and legal accountability. It is a masterclass in psychological projection, sound precisely like what Steve, Veda, and their morally bankrupt cohorts were actively doing to suppress Sharla, all while crying foul that anyone dared hold them accountable. KCG is correct, but confidently ignorant commenters are plentiful in the anti-KJ community and spew misinformation. Vanessa Girl and Vicky Sober Life are both the same Megan sock account. Even Meg's supposed good friend, Timu Zaya, doesn't know about it, but we've been tracking it for years.
You won't believe the shit I have on her now. I am telling you, she is 100% cooked.
Actually, Sharla's the one doing the cooking.
kiss my fucking ass.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember. Yeah, that's when she and Katie had the same lawyer there in North Carolina. All right.
I'm just so disgusted. How did the judge not see that Charla was doing so much crazy stalker shit to you guys?
Because they know each other for probably their entire lives. She knows all of them. We had no chance.
Steve McRae claims they lost due to an alleged friendship between Charla and the judge, a classic deflection to avoid accountability.
We had no chance.
They had no chance because Steve McRae and his vile cohorts are profoundly dishonest. This is a textbook case of projection. McRae assumes that because he and his associates use personal networks for shady tactics, everyone else is operating from the same playbook.
100%. Don't worry. I found so much. I've got her ass. Tonight I found in my drive the original tweets where she made a deal with Aaron and then she backtracked and posted a tweet refusing to stop. I have been looking for this thread for literally 2 years. I am so glad. When was this? Where? Oh, she's gonna shit her pants when she finds out what I just found. Girl, she's about to be cooked. Don't worry, it's just finding time. I have been spending 24 hours a day on this the last week, and I am still nowhere near done. Oh, I will be this time. You better believe it. I am filing a TRO on her Monday, first thing.
When you go to trial, you can message me at any time to try to look things up, or whatever you're doing. Just let me know, and I will try to help.
And I am going to include enough with it to scare the shit out of her like I did Katie. I want her to know she is about to be exposed, like no other.
God, I really hope she goes down, because this is insane.
Okay, I have to clean for a while because my husband is on my ass. But after that, I am on it.
Good luck.
Trust me. Didn't study on how to be a lawyer for nothing for the last fucking year. Trust me, didn't study on how to be a lawyer for nothing for the last fucking year.
That phrasing is completely telling. Saying she's studying how to be a lawyer instead of studying actual law or legal principles completely gives away the game. It exposes the exact mindset. They aren't interested in jurisprudence, facts, or reality. It's not just a Freudian slip, it's a confession that she views her entire online vendetta as a roleplay exercise. They treat the legal system like a costume party or a true crime game where they get to play Perry Mason, dressing up as legal counsel to orchestrate targeted harassment campaigns for their audience. Incidentally, Veda has also studied extensively on how to be an artist. Posing with framed pictures and using terms like acrylic is key.
I mixed watercolor with acrylic on this one.
Okay, so I looked this up and
I need you to forward me the emails between you and Chesh. I think I have everything for your part apart from that. And any defamatory videos you did on Charla. Or content period you did on her so I can show the judge. I have to sleep for at least an hour before I start fucking up dates and stuff. Tired AF. Been working my ass off. It'll all be over soon.
I just forwarded you the 2 emails I sent to Chesh.
Thank you. Take your time. No worries. Definitely before the weekend, though. I have your section almost put together. I don't have the crazy-ass emails to your lawyers. But I understand. It's all right.
Videos I don't think I have access to anymore, but I will ask around and see if I can give you some of them. I think her main thing is where I made a video about the GoFundMe. To give some context, Katie Parker, down the rabbit hole at bedtime, started a GoFundMe for herself, as well as fellow anti-Katie Joy creator Renelle Smith to fundraise against Charla. While raising money for Renelle is one thing, Parker weaponized her platform against Charla despite only receiving a cease and desist at the time, not a TRO. In other words, Rabbit had no legal expenses to fundraise for. To throw red meat to their hate-bonding audience, she featured Katie Joy Paulson's face right on the fundraiser thumbnail and talked about her in the video to manipulate her base into funding a fake war. Shields up. The cringe levels are off the charts. Engage.
Those who are working to silence creators are attacking Renelle in one of the worst ways possible. It is unacceptable to me that people this vile are trying to get rid of any anti-Katie Joy creator on YouTube. You may not realize how widespread this is because many have chosen to remain silent due to their fear of repercussions. Even though Katie Joy Paulson has taken her lives away from YouTube and gone onto Instagram and Facebook, she continues to bully, harass, stalk, manipulate, and victimize people around her.
Even if we assume for a second that every word of that is true, how does that magically translate to Charla? Talk about a massive unhinged leap.
It is vital that anyone is free to call her out. A link to the GoFundMe I've created is below, even if you can only give $5. It will all add up and make a big difference for Renelle and I. We are ready to fight this. Thank you to all of my long-term subscribers who have always been there for me and supported me through all of the hard and good times. I know we can get through this if we stand together. We will not allow Renelle to be bullied off of YouTube. Thank you all for your ongoing support, and we will keep you updated whenever we are able to. Thank you all.
There's currently a GoFundMe happening, and a group of creators are using my name to promote a GoFundMe, claiming that I am trying to silence them, and people are donating to them, thinking that this has to do with me, and it doesn't. Their GoFundMe has raised over $2,000, and it says, Rabbit and Renelle are being dragged to court by an unstable stalker. They want to continue to be calling out Katie Joy's bad behavior on YouTube. As a community, let's come together and support them. What greatly disturbs me about this GoFundMe is that the donations are being obtained through fraudulent purposes, with the allegation that this unstable stalker, quote unquote, is taking them to court for frivolous reasons. Renelle and this woman down the rabbit hole want you to believe that I am the factor of why they have court problems.
Of course they do. It couldn't possibly be their own fault.
Katie is an easy target to point at for that particular group. The masses hate her, so they don't question it.
Critical thinking at its finest, hey?
Even after I made that video, Katie was on the channel saying that the restraining order that was taken out against me was not fake, and is still playing into this false conspiracy that I am employing Charla to take them all down. I don't know what is wrong with Katie. I don't know if Katie's bored. Katie likes to criticize me for everything. You all know who's doing this. All of you know who's doing this.
They do.
You know exactly who's sending the threats.
They do.
You know exactly who's spoofing all these emails. You know it.
They
know
do.
it's not Charla, and you know it's not me. You know it's coming in from your circle. You know this is all fake.
She's right, you know.
And it's a whole nother thing to like create a conspiracy about someone that the person is telling you is not real. And then double down on that conspiracy and then raise money on that conspiracy. Oh, and by the way, I was told today by an attorney that Katie Parker has never received a restraining order of protection, or any court documents, and does not have any court cases, is not being sued by anyone, but she is raising money saying that she's getting taken to court. She's not being taken to court.
She's not.
Nobody's suing her, and nobody's taken out a protection order against her. Make it make sense.
As Danny Drama highlighted, Rabbit's video was a masterclass in manipulation, crying financial ruin and claiming the anti-Katie community was under attack, while dodging the fact that she had zero actual legal expenses to fund. She threw up Katie Joy's face to rile up the mob and collected cash on a false premise.
This playbook seems familiar on YouTube. Fuck around, find out, say you are being silenced, then beg for money for legal fees via GoFundMe.
When the GoFundMe went up, Veda couldn't resist inventing an entire financial espionage plot to explain it away.
He went fucking ballistic. And the only reason Katie's even pitching a fit, guys, about this GoFundMe is she's sweating. She's sweating. I think she's invested a lot of money into this, and she's about to lose.
Invested money? Sweating? It's a complete projection. Because they treat online harassment like a coordinated business transaction, they assume everyone else does too. But Veda doesn't stop there.
It's become clear to me that not only was the GoFundMe fraudulent in that she used my name and my likeness to raise the money, but it's also fraudulent in that Charla's not trying to silence them, and she's also not an unstable woman going after them. It's actually the opposite.
As she reads Katie Joy's actual response calling out the fraudulent nature of the fundraiser, she completely loses the plot.
Here's the scope of it. She says that not only is the GoFundMe fraudulent because it's created in my name and my likeness, but it's also fraudulent because they're saying that this woman who is not an unstable stalker and is not mentally unstable is going after them, and that's false. And that is actually the opposite, that we are all unstable and we are all attacking this woman. Well, I'm sorry, but 90 creators can't all be wrong and unstable.
Well, at least one of them certainly is.
You know, I've heard her holler and holler and holler, bully, harass, bully, harass, bully, harass. Well, prove it. Show something.
The irony of a network of harassers throwing a collective tantrum demanding prove it, while initial TROs were already on the books and a full cascade of lifetime restraining orders and legal fallout was quietly heading their way, is cinematic levels of delusion. I think her main thing is where I made a video about the GoFundMe. I will look for the emails that she sent to the lawyers and try to forward those.
Okay, and I need to know the date where she first reached out to you. When was that moment, and why did she claim she was contacting you? And how long after that did all the stuff transpire on Chesh's channel? I just need your timeline. I don't want to get it wrong.
That's hard to say. Okay. Let me see if I can send you the evidence I was going to take to court. Most of this was on my old computer, but I might be able to get it. It's hard to say because I never spoke to Charla. She just constantly left comments on my videos, sent me texts and emails. But I will try to send you what I have.
Thank you. Hopefully I won't disappoint all of you. I promise I am going to do all I can. Okay, so I spoke to the lawyer helping me yesterday, and he said when I set up my exhibits, the first exhibit would be labeled as pleadings. He said I am absolutely allowed to add any correspondence paperwork that I feel the need to include. He said that this section is to give the judge foundation and the scope to the entire case. He said that it better lays out the entire landscape of the case, and that my best weapon would be to bring all the cases into one and include it in my motion. He said Charla is eating our ass in this way specifically, because she knows it's harder for us to fight our cases all separate in the hope we would trip up on each other.
You'll only trip up if you're lying, and have to keep everyone's lies straight.
He said the judge will absolutely hate having to dig for the case info for each case. I have everyone's basic paperwork, apart from Steve McRae's and Renelle's. I am fine with leaving Renelle's out. She wants to do this on her own. Totally fine, I understand. Steve McRae, if you want me to add you in this in any way, I at least need the TRO she filed on you. I have the TRO you filed on her already, just let me know. Totally up to you. I have Erin, me, Meg, Wolf, Rabbit, and Cammy covered.
Katie deleted a message.
I totally get it. Totally okay. I am not asking for anything of Renelle's. I just need to know which one of you were filed against first, and a possible date of when Charla filed her order against Renelle. And has Charla filed only once against each of you? I am just trying to be 100% accurate on my timeline. I just need a date on Renelle. That's all. Katie Parker. If not, it's okay. At least tell me the month and year for her. Later though, when you have time. Today when I get up, I am focusing on 100% tweets. That's the best evidence we have against specifically her by herself. And we have all of them. It'll take about 7 or 8 hours to do those alone.
Katie deleted a message. Katie deleted a message. Katie deleted a message. Katie deleted a message.
No, she can't take the RO. That's what Charla wants. That's the hook. She wants to set it and keep us on her line and make us go where she wants. I was writing something the past couple days and had to use fishing and hunting terms since the seasons for buck and salmon are around the corner. Didn't they at one time call the guts of a deer you just bagged the offal? I could swear they did, but no one but me remembers that.
Erin is partially correct here. The guts are called offal, but it's spelled O-F-F-A-L, even though it sounds phonetically like offal. And offal isn't just deer guts. It refers to the entrails and internal organs of a butchered animal in general, from liver and bone marrow to tripe and tongue. It used to be discarded as butcher scraps, but now upscale restaurants charge top dollar for it. It's funny how this non-hunter remembers esoteric culinary and hunting terms, but conveniently forgets her and her pal's abuse of a private citizen. Okay, so to recap, offal is the entrails of a butchered animal. Offal is the anti-KJ creators. Hope this helps.
So long as she doesn't have anything over you, she has to keep chasing you with her hook. But I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
Erin should start every comment or video about her case with this statement.
I don't know. I don't work until 5 today. I'm going to get all my orders in chronological order, then label in a folder to scan and email to you. Also, I sent screen grabs of mine and Charla's texts, but none sent for some reason. I'll try sending an email. Okay, so this shit is taking forever. I just got it all organized, and I also found a program that allows me to download text messages for keep and printing, so I'll be able to do that later for sure. I might have to send it all tomorrow, but that playlist of videos I should have done soon. I'm also downloading and printing full transcripts for each. I'm going to go through and highlight all discussion of Charla for each. Oh my God, that is such a lie. At that time, she was claiming she hated Charla. That was before she even became my co-host, so she is lying big time. I have tons of DMs and posts of her talking on Charla and how much she hated her. She even got a C&D from Charla back then. Mishala will do anything for a damn pack of cigarettes and her StreamYards paid for. Katie deleted a message. Oh no, I was saying she is lying about saying she was tired of us harassing Charla. I heard she was going to be a witness. Oh no, it's okay. I should have worded that better. I won't say anything. Mishala actually spoke about being her witness on one of her live streams months back, but I won't bring it up because I don't want any of us to catch anymore. Hell, I got you. It just makes me so mad how Mishala flipped so easy. Haha, right. Oh, definitely. Miss Shala even said herself they pay her StreamYards and Canva, plus cigarette money.
That's so crazy. I hope some of this gets shown to the judge, because unfortunately I think Sharla is really good at covering up what she's doing in court. Let's see. What's more likely, silly rabbit? Is it more likely that trained legal experts like judges and lawyers are fooled, or that a gullible gossip tuber is? It's not that Sharla is really good at concealing, but rather Katie Parker is really bad at critical thinking. That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Silly rabbit.
Alice got mad at Michaela a few months ago and called her out on all of it. They are all a bunch of crazies.
I am trying to focus on IRL stuff as my life is no longer the same. But in a good way, I found an IRL friend who I really care about. So between us all, I'm working on being happy. Not too bad? And yes, they are real. LOL.
Oh, Steve, I am so happy for you. She is so gorgeous. You do look so good and so happy. That is some of the best news I have seen all day.
She likes my streams.
Bullshit.
I will be starting NSS again. We align politically, which nowadays is important to me IRL.
Yay! That is great news. Definitely.
I trust you all. This is why I want you all to know there are only a few things in my life I am really focused on right now, and nothing means more to me than my own daughter who I have to be there for. And I will be.
Happy for you, Steve.
So when people see I don't give a fuck about anything else, you all know what I am talking about. It's personal with me now, as things now involve those I care about IRL, and I will fight for what is right until my dying breath.
Oh, my hero.
I'm Steve McCree. YouTube weirdo.
And I will fight for what is right until my dying breath. So I am not ignoring any of you. I assure you, I will do whatever I can to help you all with whatever you need. I just can't focus on it right now too much. I hope that makes sense.
Totally understood. No one wants to focus on this. Wish you the best.
Understatement. But you are all amazing and awesome.
They really aren't, but you all certainly deserve each other.
I am truly honored to have you all in my life.
What a sad, lonely life Steve must have.
That makes perfect sense, Steve.
Okay guys, so I'm gonna leave this chat, only because now I'm being told things are being leaked from this chat. I just can't anymore with any of this. I've only tried to help, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Please just keep everything in this chat confidential. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. The irony is palpable. Katie Parker, who has managed to avoid the legal fallout faced by her peers, is now panicked because this very group is leaking information. She calls the situation ridiculous. Yet what is truly absurd is the ongoing refusal of these adjudicated harassers to accept legal reality. Not only do they continue to commiserate and plan, but they have actively shared documents and sensitive information regarding each other's cases to support one another, even while contempt proceedings were ongoing. That's so crazy. These are not loyal friends. They are internet hooligans bound by shallow, parasocial connections and a shared, tactical obsession with harming a victim.
I know I don't say a word from this chat. I don't even have a platform to even put anything out.
Huh? The only people in here are me, Aaron, Steve, and trusted people. No one is leaking anything whatsoever, Rabbit. Leaking it to who?
Leaked? By who? 'Cause I sure don't leak anything, but I see all the stuff to me is deleted, so I guess y'all think it's me, but I don't say anything.
Do what you feel you need to. But I can assure you no one in here leaks anything. I made this chat away from her daughters because I thought maybe they were. But I get it. Totally understand.
And if someone thinks it's me, just say it.
It's you. It's you. It's you.
Just say it.
It's you, bitch.
Megan, you are not saying anything.
I've been in here since the start and haven't said anything.
No, Megan. No one is accusing you guys. Chill. Laugh out loud.
I really don't think anybody is leaking anything. It would be impossible. Everybody in here wants the same outcome.
Told by whom?
Definitely.
Like, what exactly has been leaked? I mean, that might give us a clue as to who it was, or who it is, or something, maybe. I don't know, but, like, what exactly has been leaked? I mean, what were you told that other people have seen?
Everyone just let her go. I want her comfortable. If she's not, she's not.
No, I don't necessarily think any of you are doing this. I just can't deal with this anymore. Nothing bad about any of you. Just so tired of this. Katie Parker, is this the same person from the last 6 times you've said, someone told you this or someone else?
Who isn't? We are all tired. But didn't you move to Africa? At least nothing anyone can do can harm you as they can us.
No, I will message individually. I just don't want to affect any of you or anyone else.
Charlie Kirk got assassinated for his views. I had people trying to murder me too, so I get it.
I get it, Rabbit. Totally get it. And I don't blame you. Your case is over, and you're free from this. Run for your life. LOL. No one here would be mad. I can promise you that.
I'm just asking people not to share anything I've said, but trust me, I'm bad at oversharing too.
Not at all. We know how to reach you, Rabbit. We all adore you. So you will be around if we need you.
I'm just heading out, but any of you can message me individually.
We definitely don't share anything and never would.
I never have, and never would do that to you. Ask Aaron, Steve, Meg, or whoever else knows me. Not even once has anyone came back to them with anything I have ever released, ever. I just want to make that clear, in case it's me you're worried about.
I know none of us would say anything.
Oh my goodness, Veda. You would take every secret to your grave.
That's very true. I think we are all like that in here.
That's very true. We are all like that in here.
We are all like that in here.
Oh my god. Caught something huge.
This leaked anti-Charla group chat closes with one last conspiracy for the road. Even after years of legal reality checks, the echo chamber grinds on. Listen to this logic.
Okay, so I was going through the FBI FOIA, okay, that I got sent, that I paid for, regarding the HRO with Katie and me, okay? So after she did the FBI investigation and the HRO investigation on me, I went and FOIA'd all the stuff plus some other stuff, okay? And in there, Katie was forwarding I even got emails between Charlotte and Katie, and then Katie and the detective. So she was forwarding all this shit to the detective saying it was me. And in there was a bunch of Nikki spoofed emails with threats in them. And in one of them, Nikki, or whoever the Nikki spoofed email is, sent her a threat or something to her lawyer and put my name in there with my address. But the address is wrong. It says F1 in it, and there was never an F1 in my address. So I noticed this the other day when I'm going through all of this crap. And I was like, where have I seen somebody write my address like that before? I said, where did this Nikki Farron spoofed email that's threatening Katie get this address from? Because that's not my address. Everything's right except for the F1 part, okay?
Okay, let's try to follow along. So Veda notices an address typo in a threatening Nikki email and recalls seeing that exact typo on mail from Charla's attorney. From this single, likely made-up detail, she leaps to a bizarre conspiracy, claiming Charla fabricated the Nikki persona and spoofed emails to frame people all along.
So then I start looking and digging through my Google Photos in my drive. And I said, I'm going to find where somebody fucked my address like that before. And I remembered. I was like, oh my God, Charlotte's attorney. So anytime Charlotte's attorney would mail me a letter, I would get it out of the mail, lay it out, take a picture of the envelope and what was in the envelopes in case she tried some shit or said I did something with the mail or something, because you know how Charlotte is. So I would always take a picture. Well, I took a picture of a letter that I got from Sarah Savar. And on the envelope, it's the same fucking way. My address was wrong, the same way as the person taking those emails. So I know that Nikki Farron is fucking Charlotte this whole time.
Given this harassment group's sordid history, it's far more likely Veda or her circle planted that typo themselves just to frame Charla, the exact same playbook down to the smallest detail. Just like they manufactured that clumsy, amateurish Lendio chat log with its sloppy spacing and impossible conversational flow to point the finger at Charla, they are doing the exact same thing here with this spoofed email typo. She isn't unmasking a grand conspiracy. She's waving around self-manufactured evidence. They build the fake evidence themselves, plant their own fingerprints in it, and then act like master detectives when they discover it later. It is a completely circular, fabricated frame job from start to finish, orchestrating the smear, leaving the clues, and then pointing to their own planted work as proof in their echo chamber.
You got a gift, my friend. You got a gift. Oh, yeah. You saw that there was something that I was trying to do, and you figured that out. That's why you are who you are.
Untangling webs.
You're goddamn right.
Sadly, the image in this capture is too pixelated. Hey Megan, can you leak the full-sized image as well, so we can pick it apart like the last fabricated screenshot your cult ran with to frame Charla? Thanks, hun. We suspect Veda watches too many 80s TV mysteries and detective shows. She thinks real life operates like a scripted episode where everything hinges on one dramatic gotcha moment.
Until today, but you said you've never been in this room before.
but it took you less than 5 seconds to find an obscure light switch in the dark.
And the lights were on when I came in. Stupid mistake.
But real-world litigation is rarely as simple as Jessica Fletcher makes it look, where the trap snaps shut because of a basic detail overlooked in a rush. Veda only sees the neatly wrapped results on TV. Except Veda isn't writing a cozy mystery. She's trying to weaponize the legal system. Playing dress-up Perry Mason while manufacturing their own evidence perfectly captures the absurdity of it. They want all the dramatic flair of a courtroom drama without any of the actual rules, ethics, or reality.
Oh my god, caught something huge.
It always comes down to this: endless commiserating, weaving elaborate yarns, and peddling hunch-based speculation. Because whenever they get caught without proof, they always fall back on the exact same defense, admitting out of their own mouths how they actually operate.
I'm of the belief that Katie has a big hand in this. It's my opinion. I have nothing to back it up. I got nothing to show for my argument. It's just a gut feeling I have. That's all I can say.
Blackmailed into doing a lot of this stuff. Like, it's either you do this or I'm going to tell a childhood story about you. Katie's absolutely would do that. I think eventually Nat ended up taking the rap for the whole group of people that were involved in it. And that's really sad. It's fucking sad. And Katie, for you to use somebody with mental disabilities to manipulate, again, this is all my opinion, by the way. Everything I'm saying, none of this is fact. This is my conspiracy.
Maybe they should just make that exact disclaimer mandatory at the beginning of every video, and right before every defamatory remark they ever made against Sharla.
I have nothing to back it up. I got nothing to show for my argument. It's just a gut feeling I have. That's all I can say.
This is all my opinion, by the way. Everything I'm saying, none of this is fact. This is my conspiracy.
It's just a gut feeling I have. That's all I can say.
None of this is fact. This is my conspiracy.
I got nothing to show for my argument.
This wasn't investigation. It was mutual delusion. They spun these wild webs back in the summer of 2023, and incredibly, they are still desperately spinning them deep into September 2025, despite lifetime restraining orders.
Seems a little crazy, but someday I'll prove.
They'll never stop. Their obstinacy is on a collision course with law enforcement, and they have no one to blame but themselves. And with that, we shall close things out. If you enjoyed this, please comment and share. Okay, one more segment.
I would not place Charlotte on the web as one of Katie Doy's biggest haters. I am her biggest hater. There's no question in my mind about that. There's nobody on YouTube that loathes Katie Doy more than I do. Nobody.
The first thing you have to do is admit that you have a problem. Because if you can't even recognize the signs, then you are really in sorry shape.
There are some people that are close, but nobody loves her as much as I do. There's also, of course, Tina. There's KK People Suck. There's Veda. There's Renelle. There's Down the Rabbit Hole at Bedtime.
The irony of the anti-Katie Joy community is stark. While these commentators aggressively frame Katie Joy Paulson as a villainous, obsessive force, they remain entirely consumed by her presence. They have spun elaborate conspiratorial narratives, even theorizing that KJP is a grandmaster schemer who manipulated Sharla to frame her own detractors and suppress their speech. Yet the projectivity here is undeniable. While accusing KJP of manipulation, this group actively engages in the very interference they claim to oppose. Leaked communications reveal a coordinated effort to influence legal proceedings, with members explicitly discussing gathering evidence to blow her whole case, and actively assisting in attempts to secure protection orders against KJP. That's so crazy. If the roles were reversed, and KJP had been issued lifetime ROs or faced federal bans, this community would undoubtedly launch endless, high-volume outrage and celebrations. Ultimately, while Paulson remains the central focus of their entire platform, her detractors are merely a negligible, peripheral annoyance in hers. KJP's silence on her detractors' professional downfall proves she is not the puppet master they purport to fear. That's so crazy.
State webs. Fuck you. And everything you do. Fuck you. Everything you said means nothing to me.
Right.
But, fuck you. Everything you said means nothing. I didn't watch the fucking video. I don't care what you said. Everything you said, all that legal jargon means nothing to nobody at all. So fuck you.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Oh my god! Oh my god! All that legal jargon means nothing to nobody at all. That was that legal jargon. I don't care what you said. Everything you said, all that legal jargon. I don't care what you said. All that legal jargon.
Oh my God.
Legal jargon has been on TV shows since the 70s.
Exactly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.